It's time for the Doug Garrison Show! This week, Doug learns about a camp in Republic whose slogan is, "No child left inside." We get some info about an upcoming music event that's a fundraiser for Teaching Family Homes. Doug introduces a new feature called the Doug Face. And the Balladinas perform! And the Doug Garrison Show starts right now.
Tell the host 2 minutes. Stand by live to tape. Lighting to show level, please. Confirm front of house sound PFL. Roll tape on masters to all the places. Alright, let's clear the set. Cue John music, open stage mics. Standby effects, standby CG. Standby to open on 3, 2. Alright folks, let's have a good show. Stand by, roll it in.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, and thanks for joining us here at Upfront & Company and at home on Charter Channel 12 and on Fox UP. Well, winter finally arrived this week, and I'm kind of glad to see it. I know that those people who depend on snow for their livelihoods are certainly happy about that. Me, I'm not necessarily a snow bunny. I'm not sure if that's the right term or not, but I'm glad for those people who count on snow for their livelihood. I took a trip downstate this last weekend, saw a lot of snowmobiles headed up north to Alger County and Marquette County and points all over the UP, so that was a welcome sight. I'm happy for the events that are upcoming. We've got the Nokeman on later this month in Marquette. We've got the UP 200 in February. Many winter events that count on cold temperatures and snow. So that's all a good thing. We can't golf if there's an inch of snow on the ground, so it doesn't matter. It might as well snow as much as it wants to. I also wanted to mention, before we get into the show tonight, I wanted to say something about the Packers. And I'll say this. They won exactly as many playoff games this year as the Detroit Lions did. How about that, huh? Oh, we have some Packer fans in the crowd. Okay, no, that's right. They had a good season, and next year we'll go at it again, and hopefully both the Lions and Packers have good seasons next year too. I'm proud of both of them. We've got a neat show tonight. Once again, things that are interesting, entertaining, informative. We've got. We're going to learn about an event that is going to be attractive to people who enjoy music and dancing. We've got belly dancers here tonight. We're going to introduce a new segment called The Doug Face, and we're going to find out when we come back about youth on ice. So stick around, and we'll be right back. The Doug Garrison Show is brought to you in part by Bell Hospital. This year, the Blizzard Ball goes international. It's Saturday, January 21st, and your attendance will benefit the Bell Foundation. And by Iron Bay Computer and Design. Iron Bay gives you the quality and service you demand. Once again, a great crowd down here at Upfront & Company. I want to welcome our first guests. We have Steve Nesbitt and Faye Elder. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, good to be here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. Steve, let me ask you, you're here representing a thing called Chief Lake Wilderness Youth Camp, and I know nothing, I've never heard of this before. Tell me, what is it?
Yeah, it's getting known more and more all the time. About 5 years ago, myself and some other interested people were noticing that a lot of our youth around the area and other areas weren't getting outside and enjoying the wilderness as much as they can.
Yeah.
So we decided to pursue and open up a facility where we could reintroduce the outdoors to kids and give them the opportunity to experience what a lot of us in the UP grew up with. And with today's busy world, it's becoming less and less that these kids have a chance to get out. We're going to provide that opportunity for them.
Yeah, I know youth today are kind of stuck in front of the TV or in front of the computer screen. They're texting and emailing, and it surprises me to think that we live in such a beautiful area that's so outdoors oriented, but yet kids aren't getting out there.
Yeah, we're not going to take that away from them. It's here to stay.
Yeah.
But we're going to let them know that there's an alternative that's just as much fun.
Yeah. Where is this camp?
It's located at the Old Chief Lake Resort on Big Chief Lake up south of Republic. We were fortunate enough to acquire an initial 100 acres of that property where the facility is being currently built.
And other than an event coming up that we're going to talk about in just a second, what do you do there generally day to day?
We will be doing a multitude of different programs, all related to the outdoors, everything from archery, fishing, boating, wildlife habitats, farming. We're going to have agricultural studies, geology studies, anything that has to do with the outdoor. But it's also educational based, where they can take this actually into a career path later on in their life.
Oh, that sounds great. Is this a year-round camp?
Yes, it will be open year-round. Of course, the 10 weeks in summer when the kids are out of school will be our busiest
That'll
part.
be intense, yeah.
And when they're back in school, we will shorten our programs to weekends, but we'll also start expanding our adult and senior citizen programs. Our marketing research has shown that the senior citizen is just as interested in learning about the wilderness as the kids are.
Well, good. As long as you got the camp, open it up to everybody. Faye, I wanted to talk to you about this. You're a volunteer with the camp.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about what you think this actually does for kids.
Well, you know what's interesting is what we are basing the premise for the camp and the mission statement is about. It's from a book by Richard Louv, and it's called Last Child Indoors. Yep, I wanted to make sure. Last Child in the Woods. And it's just a phenomenal book that we encourage educators and parents and everyone to take a look at, because what he has actually done is identified what he is calling a nature deficit disorder. And they are seeing this just nationwide now, and how the effect of just the disconnect from nature is having on children. Everything from health, education, right down to motor skills. And that also, it's important that we want to have stewards, environmental stewards, and we want to, if we're going to have them and have them for our future, then they have to have that connection. And they have to have that love, like we do, like we grew up with.
Right.
But that disconnect is there, and so you can't protect something, and even as they get older and become adults, to vote on something to protect unless they have that personal relationship. So that's another important thing that we want to develop.
Well, it's a great concept, and you know, the mission statement I saw is "No child left indoors." I think that's kind of clever.
Right.
Now you've got something coming up, Steve, an event coming up yet this month. It's called Kids on Ice.
Youth on Ice.
What's going on with that?
Okay, it's one of our programs. Prior to the camp being completely constructed, we want to offer as many of our programs as we can without the use of the buildings. We had an archery one this fall. The one coming up at the end of this month, the 28th, is Youth on Ice. This is going to be one of our programs that we'll offer in the future, but it's to teach kids and introduce them to the wonderful ice fishing that we have here in the UP. It's non-competitive. It's a free event. And we have mentors and instructors coming out of the walls to help out there to help the kids with
I think
ice.
this sounds great. You know, kids who, if you grow up in the UP and you never ice fished, here's an opportunity to do it. I want to point out that people can visit your website. It's chieflakewildernessYouthCamp.org, and you can sign up for this event coming up. How do you guys raise money quickly?
Through grants and donations. So we're a 501c3. So we're completely donation and grant driven.
And information, again, available on the website.
Correct.
Yeah. And this event upcoming, any cost for that?
No, it's completely free, and pre-registration is recommended but not required. They can just show up anytime between 10 and 4 o'clock on the 28th.
On 28th. Youth on Ice at Chief Lake Wilderness Youth Camp. Hey, if your kids are stuck behind the computer screen, this is a good opportunity to get them out with some structure, learning something about our wilderness, being a part of this great Upper Peninsula and the outdoors that we have to offer. Steve and Faye, thanks a lot for joining us, and good luck with this event.
Thank you very much, Doug.
All right. When we come back, I'm going to make a face, so stick around. We're not sure how that's going to work out. All right, we'll be right back.
When I think of banking in my life, I think of the Peninsula Bank. It's been something that's solid. It's something that you can count on. Some of my first memories are going to the bank with my mother or father. Later on in life, I did the different things that people do. Got my first car and got a loan here, got a mortgage. It was just something that was assumed that you could rely on the Peninsula Bank for those life-changing, important events throughout a person's life.
Okay. As promised, I said I was going to make a face. You know, a couple weeks ago I said we're turning over a new leaf this year. One of our resolutions was that if we see something that we liked, we're going to compliment it. If we see something we didn't like, we might criticize it. Well, we're doing that in the form of what we call a Doug face. And we're introducing Doug face tonight. Our inaugural Doug face is going to be concerned. Do I look concerned there? That's how I look when I'm concerned. Our inaugural Doug face is concerned. What are we concerned about? Well, I'm concerned about a building that's going up, the Mark Tran transfer station, going up on the corner of Spring Street and South 3rd Street. I'm concerned because the design of this building is something that I'm not sure if it fits in with the look of what we're trying to do in downtown Marquette. If you've been by this building, you may or may not agree with me. It has a very high profile. It's 30 to 40 feet high, and it looks like something that doesn't necessarily fit architecturally into what we're trying to do downtown. You know, for the past 30 years, there's been a lot of great work going on in this downtown area, both governmental and private businesses doing a great job dressing up this community. Whether it's residences or government buildings or businesses, everybody's kind of gotten on board and made this a very beautiful downtown. And I'm concerned that if something goes up that doesn't fit that look, that we're taking a step back instead of taking a step forward. And that's my concern with the new Mark Tran building. Now, it's not done yet. It's construction is being postponed until the summertime, until they can get out there in warmer weather. And maybe when it's done, maybe it'll be beautiful. I have seen drawings of what the finished product is supposed to look like. And again, I'm concerned that that finished product might not fit the look we're looking for in our downtown buildings. It very well could be that once we come to summer or fall, when that building's done, it might be beautiful. And I might come back here and say, hey, I was wrong, and I'll have a happy face, and I'll be the first to do that. But right now I'm concerned, because when you drive down 3rd Street, first of all, if you're driving south on 3rd, where we used to be able to see that beautiful new Regional History Center, we can't even see it anymore. This building is going up so high in the air that we can't see that beautiful dome on that nice new building. So I'm concerned that Mark Tran went ahead without consulting with people downtown and other business leaders and architectural people in the area to make this building look like we'd like it to look in our downtown area. Now, I'm not going to just question somebody's decision-making without giving them a chance to respond. So if anybody from Mark Tran would like to come on this show and explain the process and explain to me and our audience what they're trying to do, I welcome that. I'd love to have you on. Just let me know you'd like to be on. And if you have a thought about this, if you agree or disagree or would like to express your opinion, visit the Doug Garrison Show on Facebook and let me know if you share my concern. Okay? I'm concerned, and that's my Doug face for our inaugural edition of the Doug Face. Okay, stick around. When we come back, we're going to find out about something that is interest to you if you like dance and music for a good cause. All right.
Winter's finally here, but it's not too late to take advantage of our $5 off all tune and clean special through the month of February.
Really? Again? Anyway, we still have a great lineup of Lennox furnaces. Rubber soup.
That's right. Lennox. Innovative, quiet, and up to 98% efficient. Truce.
Truce.
At least until postseason.
Okay. All right. Thanks for sticking around. Our next guest is the old friend Rich Rossway. Rich, thanks for joining us.
Good to see you, Doug.
Yeah, you've been here before for different reasons, but we've also had your organization on, which is Teaching Family Homes. But you're on again. We're going to talk about an event you have coming up, a fundraiser. But just so people know, a brief description of what you do out at Teaching Family Homes.
You know, sometimes it's difficult to just really condense it, but as we state with our mission, we care for abused and neglected kids. Many of the kids that we serve, really come from dysfunctional families, chaotic families. So we have a 40-acre facility out at the end of Silver Creek Road, and we have 4 residential youth homes there where we have children that live there, and we care for them.
That's their full-time home.
For many of them, and then it varies from, it can be a few short weeks to months and even years. And we serve ages 6 to 17 with a variety of stories and real challenging stories. They never really came from a typical family background like you and I might, and it's really, endearing to see children as they grow and they finally have some structure. We work after we model ourselves after the after the Boys Town Father Flanagan model, which is mainly, you're rewarding positive behavior and reinforcing that and correcting negative behavior when there's negative behavior. So, we do excellent work there, and it's something that's greatly needed, and from many children that sometimes are really forgotten in our society.
Sure. When kids leave there, do they typically go back to their home setting, or they go into foster care, or they go into adoption, or what happens?
All of the above.
Everything?
Sometimes they're going off back home, and that's always what you like, to have that family reintegrate that child into their home. We have a full foster care service, and many times that's the best choice for them. I know a few that just, they graduated and moved on, and they're attending Northern Michigan University, and usually there's still some kind of a tie we have to help them, but there's a variety of options that they have when they leave.
Sure. About how many kids are out there at any one time?
We have 32 beds, usually pretty full. We don't just service in Marquette, as our youth home is not only here. We have a home in Newberry, and we also have a number of services that we provide, kind of intervention type services, family first services throughout the UP. Maybe families in crisis, maybe there's a father that's lost his job or imprisoned or something, and you're trying to help facilitate positive outcomes for those children.
Well, that's great. Now, you're a nonprofit, so you rely on donations and grants and contributions. You got a fundraiser coming up. It's called the Frostbite Concert. In fact, it's right here this Saturday night. You've got the Flying Martini Brothers, Black Pearl, and Midnight Manual, featuring Other Dave, one of our cameramen, and Midnight Manual. Okay, and now this is a $5 or a $10 advance admission, $12 at the door. But what you indicated too is a lot of the fundraising comes from the silent auction. You got some neat items there. Packer tickets, Packer playoff tickets.
We have Packer playoff tickets. Packers against the 49ers. The price is going down on those, so maybe $4 or something.
Yeah, I love it.
Now we actually have Red Wing tickets. I'm not sure which game, but we have a number of tickets, and we have I actually did a tally, over $5,000 in silent auction items. We've kind of broken that down to kind of pampering products for the ladies, and then we have a manly man product for real men,
for
like
someone
you and
like that I might aspire to be.
Right.
Okay, and, so something for everybody type of thing.
And a taste of Marquette, we've received just tremendous support from restaurants, so we kind of packaged a lot of those things together for some great dining experiences. So you can enjoy the music. You don't have to stay there for the whole thing. If you have a favorite band, and you can still bid on it, you can still win that bid. But it is an auction that you got to write your name down and hopefully bid high. And number one, you get yourself a product, but even more importantly, you support a worthwhile organization. Very good.
You got some great music. I'm familiar with all these groups. You can dance and you can do that silent auction. And I just briefly, we're almost out of time, but I want to mention, you and I, remember the silent auction that you and I were the auctioneers for?
I was thinking about that with...
Don't mention the organization.
Third Street.
That was the worst silent auction in the history of silent auctions.
I think they disbanded actually shortly thereafter too. You talk about crickets chirping. That was crickets chirping.
Well, we had an envelope with the name of a business that had donated a prize, but nobody knew what they're bidding on, and we were standing up there trying to get bids on something that people didn't know what it was. The worst silent auction, and it was terrible. Longest night of my life.
Do you remember the one commercial that you did for Ray's Home Center? And do you remember the tagline?
No.
We're number one in the number two business.
Well, I don't remember that. I'm sure that was successful. Thanks for bringing that up. I appreciate that. Well, I'm sure this silent auction will be better than one we did a few years ago.
Right, which is why we're not really going to invite you, but you're welcome to pay at the door and maybe just stand kind of on the outside.
I'll do that. I like the music, so I can hear the music. Okay, that's this Saturday night, Frostbite Concert, right here at Upfront, benefiting Teaching Family Homes. Rich, thanks for joining us. Okay, when we come back, a little belly dancing, so stick around.
Guess what? You can get any new or used car finance in the Marquette Community Federal Credit Union for 3.9% APR. New or used. Got your eye on this new Escalade? 3.9%. How about this 75 Gremlin? 3.9%. Looking at this stylish Dodge Dart? 3.9%. How about a new Chevy Cruze? 3.9%. RV, boat, tractor? 3.9%. What about this DeLorean time machine? 3.9%. 3.9% auto loans, new and used at the Marquette Community Federal Credit Union. Stop in and apply today.
Restaurants, the The trendier they are, the more they charge. At Big Boy, we don't chase the latest trend because we believe value never goes out of style. Whether you order from our menu or enjoy one of our hearty buffets, you'll discover that good food doesn't have to be overpriced. Imagine being able to afford to take your whole family out to dinner. It's not a trend, it's what we do at Big Boy.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. Hey, I've got two pieces of good news for you. We've got belly dancing, and I'm not going to be doing it, so stick around for that. That's good. Yeah, thank you. Okay, with me is Maggie Barch. Maggie, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And you have the Belladinas with you.
Yes.
This is your belly dancing troupe.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me, how long you guys been together?
3.5 years.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Quite a group.
Yes.
I want to know a little bit about belly dancing. What's the origin of it?
Well, Middle Eastern dance, or belly dancing as it's well known, began before the written word, 5,000 years ago at least.
Okay.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
So the history is very convoluted. There's not a written history. There's people that have theories about the beginning, but there were a lot of reasons for the dance, entertainment, worship,
Fun, recreation, exercise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the history is very convoluted.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of it is just your own artistic interpretation at this point, I guess.
Exactly.
From what I've seen, it looks to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
It is. One of the things that the reason you're here is that this is part of the Arts and Culture Center workshop series that people can get involved in if they would like to learn the art of belly dancing. You have some sessions coming up. In fact, you have a session starting this upcoming Monday. And I think there's sessions down the road, like 3 different sessions, and there are 6 weeks apiece.
Correct.
And if people are interested in getting involved in this, go to the city website, mqtcty.org, and search for the workshops portion of that, out of the Arts and Culture Center. It costs it's $30 for city residents, $35 for non-residents for 6 weeks of sessions. And I've already talked to a couple of the ladies in the audience. They're already interested and haven't even seen you perform yet. I think it's a neat thing. I love all the color and music and pageantry of it. And I'm excited to have you on the show tonight. So
We're excited to be here.
Why don't you introduce the Belladinas to us, starting at the far end?
Gladly. We have Jessica Holman.
All right.
Valerie Bradley Holliday.
Mm-hmm.
Tara Middleton. Alana Luttington. Joanne Benzing. Amy Charette. And Andrea Forsberg.
And these are all veterans of belly dancing.
Yes, yes.
And in addition to just the physical exercise of it, I'm sure there's a lot of fun, just the camaraderie of being with friends and other women doing this thing that you enjoy, dressing up in colorful costumes and dancing to interesting and beautiful music.
Yes, in fact, it's so much fun that sometimes I have a hard time getting them to dance.
Is that right? They enjoy the social aspect.
Yes.
Okay.
But that is part of it.
Okay, good. Well, enough talk. Let's enjoy dancing, belly dancing from the Belladinas.
buy a used car, it should come with a good dose of peace of mind.
That's why at Riverside, our used car trucks come with a 2-year up to 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. That's why we super inspect every vehicle.
If you're tired of not finding what you want, try over 100 to choose from and another 600 a day away.
And if you're worried about price, Riverside has some of the lowest prices in the state. And our low prices come with lots of extras.
Selection, price, and warranty. Get it all at the new Riverside Marquette.
The Doug Garrison Show is brought to you in part by Checker Transport, now booking weddings and special events for 2012. Visit checkertransport.com. And by VIO, the leader in wearable video technology. Okay, here I am, a weed among the flowers that we call the Belladinas. How's that? Okay. All right. I want to thank our guests tonight. We had Faye Elder and Steve Nesbitt from Chief Lake Wilderness Campground. They've got an event coming up called Youth on Ice. A neat thing for you to get your kids outside doing something in the out of doors. Rich Rossway was here from Teaching Family Homes. They've got a concert coming up this Saturday right here at Upfront & Company, a benefit fundraiser for Teaching Family Homes. I want to remind you, I did my first Doug Face tonight, our inaugural Doug Face. I was concerned about the Mark Tran transfer station. If you've got a thought on that, go to our Facebook page, The Doug Garrison Show. Let me know what you think. And also, I want to thank the Belladinas for joining us tonight. Remember, you can sign up and you can get into belly dancing yourself. Go to the city website, mqtcty.org, and take some belly dancing classes. They're also going to be performing in a show February 4th, Saturday, at the Peter White Public Library as part of the Bollywood Exposition, so you might want to check that out, and you'll enjoy that. While they're here, let's get one more from the Belladinas. All right.